got sent swatches of Green Goblin stuff, the Spidey material with the little hexes on it. We got to go into Sony and sit down with John Dykstra and talk about Green Goblin effects. We would get all of those stills, and so we were seeing the movie without sort of hearing and seeing the movie. The whole idea of connecting with a movie was kind of new, right, to video games. It hadn't happened a ton by this point. Game design and us just lit up hey, new weapons, other cool stuff no one has talked to us about yet. And now John Dykstra just said,
and so since the game and the film was released at the same time, more or less, and they were both in development at the same time. So while you were making the game, the film was being made in some capacity, whether it be the shooting or the post. Did anything from the game have to get changed because something in the film got changed, late in the development? So yeah, that's pretty. Did anything get changed later in development?
Oh, that's all right. I think I have a good story about that one actually. So we, like I said earlier, we were developing our own storyline for a unique original Spider-Man game. When it became the movie game, a lot of stuff shifted automatically. We knew that we wanted to match the look of the movie, and upon hearing that we were going to be doing it, we hadn't even seen the costume yet. The costume with the raised webbing and all of that hasn't been released. There's no promo pictures yet or any of that stuff. But we're excited, Sam Raimi is going to be doing the Spider-Man movie, and it's going to be a big, huge blockbuster movie, and we're going to want to tie into it. Here's the lead actors. So at that point, we've got, we know who it's going to be, Toby and Kirsten Dunst and Willem Dafoe. And so we know that we want to tie into the movie as much as we can. We're going to be the movie release. And so we have an added thing of not just kind of creating a Spider-Man game that we think would be a cool comic book Spider-Man game, but trying to be the movie adaptation of the Spider-Man game. And so as far as things changing, if we were going to have Green Goblin in the game before, well, now we're going to have this new Green Goblin with those a more militaristic, I don't know, with all of the hard suit, look into the stuff. And we were going to embrace that, whatever the look of this Spider-Man was going to be in this movie and whatever Green Goblin was going to look like, that's what they were going to look like in our game. Done. Flat. That's what it's going to be. It's going to look like them. It's Mary Jane isn't going to look like Remetta's Mary Jane from back in the day. It's going to look like Kirsten Dunst in this movie is what Mary Jane is going to look like for our game. And so we kind of understood that. And then right around that time, we started to get a few images from the movie early. We got an early release image of Spidey that was going to become a promo release and get used within a few days or weeks after we were handed it all around. But that was our first time seeing the raised webbing on him and seeing what, the shape of the eyes and just what the suit was going to look like. And then seeing Green Goblin. Our game designers, obviously, they want a whole arsenal of things for a bad guy to throw at you. So, what are the goblin bombs going to be in the movie? And how are they, what do they do? And does he have any other, special, abilities or gadgets or whatever? We'd want to, try to have all of those things. And so we did. Our design sheets and our character turnarounds and all of that stuff started to just follow what the movie was doing. And then we were late in the game, as you alluded to, in that most of the principal shooting had been done, but they were still wrapping up still doing some principal photography as we came on board, and there was tons of effect stuff to still go and all of that. So we were given the script at that point, and then on movie sets, they shoot still photography, at least nowadays, especially on bigger, blockbuster movies. They're going to shoot 35 still, right alongside with the movie stuff. And so that can go to marketing, that can go to wardrobe, that can go to all of the various different, places that those shots need to go out to, including nowadays the game. And
Sorry,
so
just
we
don't
would
mean to
get,
interrupt. Just the monitors
sure,
just popped off there
yeah.
behind you. Oh, yeah.
Oh, oops. All right, thanks. Nice catch.
Yeah.
Sorry, been talking a while.
Just keeping it nice and pretty.
Yeah, that's good. So where was I at this? So with the movie, we started getting pretty regular dumps of stuff, and so we would get folders sent over from Santa Monica because we were, they were just basically down the road from us. But we would get stuff shot, the stuff that was shot on the green screen, or when the stuff like the veranda is going to collapse into the street below, and we would see like that with the green screen stuff set up behind it. We would get all of those stills, and so we were seeing the movie without sort of hearing and seeing the movie. So we were, if that makes any sense, like we weren't seeing so much video and things weren't like cut together for us to see, but we were seeing tons of stills and having the script and sort of, basing our characters off of, all of that stuff that we would see. We did, one of the first things I did was ask for some of the Spider-Man costume to be sent over to us so that we could actually see the material. I asked for a swatch of material, and some of my effects, or my digital artists were like, swatch of material, like what are you talking about? And the whole idea of like connecting with a movie was kind of new, right, to video games. It hadn't happened a ton by this point. And sure enough, they were happy to send it over. We got sent swatches of Green Goblin stuff, the Spidey material with the little hexes on it, and then with the raised webbing, little piece of that so we could see it and try to make it, make our characters correct. So having that connectivity really helped a lot. We were on set a couple of times. So we were on set during the big battle at the end for the in the church where Green Goblin, his glider like impales him or whatever. We were on set that day in a big, open set, and got to see all that happen. And then on some other occasions, we got to see some early edits of scenes, not like the whole movie or anything like that. But we were, we got to go into Sony and sit down with John Dykstra and talk about Green Goblin effects. And so here's one of my heroes from Star Wars franchise talking to me about, Spider-Man stuff. And then he mentions, yeah, we tried using the Trident today, and our eyes lit up like, Trident? He has we're working out. We're not sure. It might be it could be cut. We're not even sure. And all of, game design and us just like lit up like, hey, new weapons, other cool stuff no one has talked to us about yet. And now John Dykstra just said, a Trident. So we got really excited, about Green Goblin having a Trident. I don't think it actually even made it into the final game. I don't recall actually. But it was just that, that kind of connectivity and getting to see the actors and getting shots from all that, the getting the suit material and all that, and just doing our best to kind of make this Spider-Man game, keeping in mind like new engine, 6 months, trying to capture all of this stuff. We also, like, I guess we'll get into it when we talk about VO and voice actors and the actors and that stuff. But I had more connectivity for Bond than Spider-Man by a little bit. I think at that point we had, there was more accepting of video games to be more entrenched with the movie development. And so we actually had more connectivity inside the Bond games. I think with Spider-Man, it was just that by the time the deal got done, the movie was well into production and was almost heading into post. And it was just that kind of timing. They were great as far as like what they gave us to use and to try to, connect it to the movie. We had this thing of like, a strong sense of what the Spider-Man history was. And then this new origin movie kind of coming out, and what is Aunt May going to look like? What does Uncle Ben look like? And this, just telling these stories, Oscorp and all of that, like how was the movie going to like incorporate it? we were very familiar with what the comic looked like, and even a sense of like with the cartoons and Spidey's quips and being very like kind of punchy and fun. Sorry, I think I'm getting
Spidey's.
onto. Go ahead.
Spidey's quips in the 2002 game, like they're generally like genuinely hilarious. Like I can't remember off the top of my head, but whenever I had to run through the game again, and because Tobey's Spider-Man is a lot quieter, like Tobey is the kind of the quiet comedy, but even though that is carried through the game, obviously because of the gameplay, you need more quips. I genuinely just thought they were hilarious. The one that sticks out is the Goblin battle where you chase Goblin and he like breaks stuff throughout the city and you have to fix it. And then he's like, "Oh, no, none of these people that you're trying to none of these people that you're trying to help would ever help you." And he's like, "Well, considering they can't lift like 200 pounds of steel, I can't really blame them." And it's just like that throughout the game.
We had a great writer working with us at Treyarch to help like write that stuff. Well, what was interesting for us is we thought of Spidey as being kind of more tongue in cheek or more kind of slapsticky, kind of more comedy. And Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was not. I'm trying to find the words here. Like I don't want to say like it wasn't that it was deadpan. It was just kind of played more straight.
It was played down, yeah.
Yeah, played more kind of
still
real as opposed to like quirky comic book or cartoony. I almost say comic book as a bad regard, but just in the sense of something where I think in our minds we had something a little bit more kid-like and a little bit more like just fun and quippy as opposed to teenage angst strife movie. That was kind of like Tobey's approach on it. So anyway, that was an interesting take that took some reconciling of like, you know, what we thought that how the tone of the game would be in the movie and what it actually turned out to be was quite a bit different in the audio, like in the performance of the actors and that stuff.
If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel on Ko-fi and Patreon. And if you didn't enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel on Ko-fi and Patreon. Right, good luck.